everybody, this is Alessandra. Welcome to my home, welcome to my kitchen. Today we're going to be preparing something that's part of the Neapolitan cuisine. Even though it's called la Genovese, which means from Genova, it's something that we make in the Campania region. I'm going to get started with the ingredients and tell you a little bit more. Putting it together takes roughly 15 minutes, 20 minutes. But the cooking of it is going to be 3 to 4 hours. So it's something that typically we ate on a Sunday. So let me get started with the ingredients. I have extra virgin olive oil, fresh cracked black pepper, sea salt, about 14 ounces of plum tomatoes that I chopped up. I have a piece of chuck meat, a London broil, chuck London broil. You could also use an ossobuco, but due to the long cooking, it will shred. So you need a piece of meat, like a good chuck, that takes long to cook. I have here celery stalk, okay? 4 carrots, these are very little, so I would say either 2 large ones or 3 mediums. And right here, I have 7 onions. I did weigh them and I will give you the measurements at the beginning of the video. Okay, so now let's move right over to the stove and let's not forget the white wine. I didn't pull that out yet. Okay, let's move right over to the stove and let's get started. My flame is on high. I put on about a quarter of a cup of the extra virgin olive oil. What I'm going to do is salt my meat on both sides, pepper. As soon as the oil gets hot, I'm going to start searing the meat. Let me go wash my hands now. The oil is nice and hot. I'm going to put my piece of meat in. Now, take a look at my stove. I covered it. I cleaned the stove, and I don't want it to get messy. Again, I'm not a chef. I don't have a crew of people cleaning after me. So this is a wonderful little trick because it will... schizza, meaning it's going to drizzle out and when you sear the meat. Okay, there it goes. Okay, now I'm going to do this on all 4 sides and then we'll come back. Turning the meat on all sides, look at that. That's going to seal in the flavor. Okay, there it goes. Okay, now I'm going to pour my, I'm using the Santa Margherita Pinot Grigio. Beautiful. Okay. There it goes. Now, as the wine is evaporating, you definitely want the wine evaporating. I'm going to start cutting my celery and carrots. Nothing large, nothing small. So I'm going to do it right over here with a knife. And we'll wait for the wine to evaporate. And the next ingredient is going to be the tomato sauce I'm putting in, okay? What I basically had was 14 ounces of peeled tomatoes that I chopped up in small pieces. Okay. The wine has evaporated. I'm going to now add my tomato. See, the tomatoes just enough to give it a little color, but you'll see that it's definitely not a red sauce. Okay, let it cook a little bit. I'm gonna say 5-6 minutes, and then we'll add the other ingredients. Time for the bay leaves, the carrots, and the celery, and then the magic ingredient that will get this wonderful Genovese going is the onion, the large amount of onion. This is, oops, I forgot to cut one. Okay, Look at that cut. Immediately, right on top, okay? Now take a look at this. Now, you're not going to be putting a lid on because the onions will release a lot of water, and you need that water to evaporate. If you put a lid on it, it's like doing double work, and it'll take 7 hours for it to cook. So let's just leave the lid off. Okay, what you want to be doing every 30 minutes, come and stir it. That's what you want to be doing. Right now, just let it start cooking and start releasing the water from the onions and the other ingredients, and it will come together beautifully. So every 30 minutes, stop by and get it to stir it a little bit, okay? And that's it. Lower your flame. Now, let it start first boiling, okay? And then you're gonna lower your flame to low, and you're not gonna ever raise the heat, and just let it start cooking. 30 minutes have passed. As you can see, it's slowly cooking, but it's gonna take a while. So we'll check back in 30 more minutes. 1 hour in, and it's beginning to look like it should, but absolutely nowhere near. Okay, let's take a look closer, okay? What I'm going to do is turn my piece of meat and just put it down and just cover it. Do you see it? Okay, just stir it, and let it keep cooking. There it goes. Still cooking away. Give it a good stir and let it continue doing its thing. Let's take a look. Okay, the meat, as you can see, the meat is still very hard. Okay, still needs to cook more. There seems to be enough liquid in there. What I'm going to do now is put my wood spoon across and my lid on. So what this does, it lets the air, the vapor evaporate, okay? So let's leave it on like that and check back in 30 to 40 minutes. Okay, the Genovese is looking fantastic. Okay, the meat is cooked through. Now, 4 hours and 15 minutes have passed, and I'm going to put on my water for my pasta. A special meal like this, I cannot just use a regular pasta. The Genovese goes very well with a short cut of pasta, and I am using a Fara San Martino pennoni. And the reason why I want a larger type of a pasta is with a big hole, because you want that all that creamed onion to get it inside and be so well amalgamated. I'm already eating with my eyes. So today's choice is pennoni. We're 5 people, so I'm going to use a pound. This is actually half a kilo, and a little bit more because I know everybody's going to want a little bit more because it's just that delicious. Going to taste it. I could use a little bit more salt. So I'm going to also take the time right now to salt my water. There it goes. And I'm going to leave it 5 more minutes, take the meat out, drop my pasta, and then we'll continue. The water's finally boiling, you know. We say in Italian, pentola osservata non bolle. So it means if you watch the pot, the water will never boil. So it's finally boiling. I'm gonna say a pound and a couple ounces. I usually use the same wooden spoon. I'm gonna stir it, put the lid back on. Okay. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to remove the piece of meat. Okay, because I need the sauce to be able to go around the pasta. So I'm going to remove the meat and just cut it up a little bit. Okay, there it goes. Perfect. With the wooden spoon, the meat is out. of the Genovese, I just press it along the sides to so if the bigger chunks of the carrots just get really mashed and creamy. Time to drain the pasta. Okay, I'm going to lower the flame because I'm going to be putting it back on, and I'm just going to go over to the sink and drain my pennoni. Okay, on the pasta drain, I'm gonna add my Genovese, the bottom of the pot. Give it a good shake. You want to drain all the water. Okay, here it goes. Okay, perfect. Want to make sure all the water is evaporated. There's nothing worse than having pasta that still has water at the bottom of the plate. So you don't want that. Okay, I left the pasta al dente. So like that, it will finish cooking as I stir it over the stove with the Genovese in. Look at that. Does that look amazing or what? Ah, che delizia. Now I'm going to have to start screaming to my children to come down because la pasta non aspetta nessuno. Pasta waits for no one. Okay, once the pasta is ready, everybody has to be sitting down to start the meal. Okay, let's see. I want to make sure I get everything out. Okay, wonderful. Look at this. Is this Sunday sauce or what? Sunday meal, Sunday family, Sunday love? This is everything in one plate. I can still remember my grandmother. She would come back from mass and she had this left on the stove. And before she left for church, she would tell somebody, attenti alla Genovese. State attenti alla Genovese, non facciate sotto. That means don't let it stick to the bottom. And somebody was put in charge. And by the time we got up, everything was almost halfway done. It was wonderful. So here's the Genovese. I have the meat right here. I want to show you how soft and wonderful it is. Look at that. It just shreds to pieces. You could also use a large flank steak and roll it up as a braciole. That also makes a nice a Genovese. I don't suggest veal because it's too many hours. You would have to remove it halfway through the cooking. Okay? Now I'm gonna make my plate because I need to taste it. I cannot just say, guys, it's delicious without actually tasting it. So I need to taste it for you, not for me, for you. And I'm going to put some locatelli Pecorino Romano. I really want a little bit stronger cheese than a Parmigiano. I'm sure the kids will eat the Parmigiano. I need a fork. Okay, it was my forchetta. Here it is. Okay, so ready? I'm very excited. This has been cooking 4.5 hours. The prep time is 15 minutes and you just leave it there and just stir it. And look at the meal you got. All the memories in one plate. This is really my childhood memories. And I'm grateful for my mother for still, even coming to America, keeping up with these traditions that now I'm hoping to pass on to my own daughters. And that's how life goes. If we keep these traditions, it's also part of our identity. Va bene, ora di mangiare. La pasta non aspetta nessuno. Thank you for watching. If you like what you see, please hit subscribe. To me, food is love. And I hope to share with all of you. Arrivederci, a presto. Good night. Bye-bye. Buon appetito.